Welcome to Global Insiders Podcast. I am Ryan, the peripatetic one, bringing you information about opportunities relating to jobs, traveling, and any information that can elevate you to your rightful place in this thing called life. You can find more information and how to methods on globalinsidersgroup.com. That is insiders with an S. And here is today's show. Hello, insiders. If you are from a Commonwealth country, this episode is especially for you. Of course, everyone, you're invited to listen in. If you're from a Commonwealth country, there are opportunities that are available to you. However, you might not be aware of these. Today, I will teach you about some. According to atlas.com, the Commonwealth or the Commonwealth of Nations is a group of 53 states, all of which, except for two, were formerly part of the British Empire. The Commonwealth tries to maintain global unity through shared language, history, and culture. Despite growing independence and self-governance of former British colonies, they still try to collaborate. Overall, 2.3 billion people belong to the Commonwealth, representing one-third of the world population and one-quarter of its total landmass at approximately 30 million square kilometers. Despite massive geographic and demographic differences, these countries are said to be united through their common values of democracy, human rights, and rule of law. What does this mean for Commonwealth citizens, or what does this mean for you? Well, there are certain advantages to being a member state. For instance, consular services exist for countries in good standing. And this is not my word, this is from Atlas. Commonwealth citizens who are stuck in a country that is not represented at a consulate by their government can get representation and temporary Commonwealth citizen passport issued at a British embassy. So that's definitely a plus there for those of you who like to travel around and you don't have, let's say, an American passport, which is allowed into almost every country. So this is good news for you. This is one more thing to add to your backup plan just in case, there's an emergency. The second reason why Commonwealth citizens have opportunities, it is for the mere fact that they speak English. If you speak English and you have a degree, there's absolutely no reason why you should not be traveling to foreign countries. In addition, you should not be unemployed. British English may not be as popular as American English, but it is still the standard. As long as the Queen is the head of Britain, it will remain the standard. Therefore, as a Commonwealth citizen with attachment to Britain, you have a major advantage. You may need to get qualifications to teach English, but you can learn more about this on globalinsidersgroup.com. That is globalinsidersgroup.com. I have gained the necessary qualifications to teach English also, and I did this because really and truly, if you have a situation where you can gain certification for the language that you speak, that was just a no-brainer for me. I just had to go and get that because, as you will find out if you decide to look into this further, you will see that there are many opportunities in many countries where you can use your language, your natural language. So I would definitely look into this opportunity some more. The third and final advantage that I'll discuss is that of Commonwealth nationals joining the British Army. The information that I'll be giving to you is coming directly from apply.army.mod.uk. So you can Google or you can use whichever search engine you want to look for this information. Okay. Commonwealth nationals who meet all the eligibility requirements may now apply to join the British Army. From this website, applications will be assessed and those that meet the full eligibility requirements will be given further information to start the recruitment process. All eligible Commonwealth nationals will be required to travel to UK to complete the application process. Nationality. Non-UK applicants must be an Irish Commonwealth, British Protected Citizen, British Overseas Citizen, British Overseas Territory Citizen, British National Overseas Citizen, or dual national with second nationality. That is either British, Irish, or Commonwealth. So there we go. Commonwealth citizens are included. You must have a valid passport. Applicants must hold a valid passport with a minimum of 4 years and 6 months validity on it from when they first attend an armed careers office in the UK. In most cases, 6 months is adequate for an applicant to get through the selection process, leaving 4 years left on enlistment. Junior entry applicants must be able to renew their passports from within UK as their passports are likely to expire before the soldier has completed their 4-year minimum engagement, which begins from the age of 18 years. So you must be 18 years to apply. Visas. Applicants must hold a valid UK visa with minimum of 4 months left to run on it from when they first make an application at an Army Careers Office in the UK. 4 months is the minimum amount of time required to get a committed applicant through the selection process and into training, but it can take up to 6 months. Must not delay in applying. Once you arrive in UK, you might risk not meeting this requirement, so make sure that if you start the process, you go through it with it quickly. It is the responsibility of the applicant to ensure that they have permission to be in the UK for the whole time it takes to complete the selection process and enlist. The British Army cannot assist you in this process, so you have to make sure that you meet immigration standards, that your visa is up to date. Age. So applicants must check the upper and lower age limits. On this website, they note that the age is you cannot join before the age of 16 or after the age of 33. Applicants should allow at least an additional 6 months for time spent in the selection process. For example, an applicant over 32 years and 6 months is unlikely to enlist before they reach the upper age limit of 33 years and may be turned away. Parental consent is required for applicants under the age of 18, and therefore only applicants over the age of 18 can apply online. Original documentation, proof of age, will be required, so don't try to beat the system. Education. You must have completed a secondary level of education to age 16 with certification to prove it, and you must have a good standard of spoken and written English. This will be tested throughout the recruitment and selection process. Documents. Birth certificate. You will be required to show your original birth certificate or a government stamped official copy when you first apply at an Army Careers Office. Please note that a birth certificate is not proof of nationality. Also, you will have medical requirements. Full medical examination is required for each applicant in UK at the Army Development and Selection Centre. All applicants must be medically, dentally, and physically fit in accordance with the British Army standards and meet the requirements specified. You can look for these specifications at www.army.mod.uk. You are strongly advised to consider whether you meet all of these specific requirements. All applicants must download and complete the British Army Medical Questionnaire. So once again, you can go to www.army.mod.uk. Overseas. So if you're overseas, the downloads are on the right of the page. This must be brought to the UK, completed by you and your medical doctor. We also suggest that overseas applicants are in possession of a copy of their medical records when they report to an Army Careers Office in the UK. If you're overseas, you can start the medical in your country. So your medical doctor will complete it along with you. And also, overseas applicants are in possession of a copy of their medical records when they report to an army. So if you're overseas, you need to complete the medical records with your doctor, and you need to make sure that you have some form of it when you go to the UK. Height. The minimum height requirement is 148 centimeters, except for employments which involve driving, where the minimum height is 158 centimeters. Body mass index or BMI. Your weight should be in proportion to your height. You should ask for professional assistance to measure your BMI. Alternatively, there is help available at many sites on the internet to help you calculate your BMI accurately if you know your exact height and weight measurements. Okay? Adult entry BMI must be between 18 and 32, normally 28 or below. If your BMI is between 28 and 32, you will need further assessment. Male applicants with a BMI between 28 and 32 must have a waistline measurement of below 94 centimeters. Adult entry for females, the BMI must be between 18 and 30, normally 28 or below. If your BMI is between 28 and 30, you will need further assessment. Female applicants with BMI between 28 to 30 must have a waistline measurement of below 80 centimeters. Junior entry BMI measurement must be between 17 and 27. Next, eyesight. You will need to have a copy of your prescription from your optician with you when you go for your medical examination. The minimum standards for both uncorrected and corrected vision are determined by service medical staff and are dependent on the proposed employment and branch group. Spectacle or contact lens, impaired color perception, color blindness is not a bar to service, but may limit your career choices. Your eyesight is checked over a distance of 6 meters. Police records checks. Applicants must provide an original national police records check from their home country dated within 3 months of application. and show this when they first apply at an army carrier's office in the UK. If you have not been a resident in your home country for at least 5 years, you must also provide an original record check from your previous country of residence. Photocopies are not acceptable. Applicants with criminal records may still be eligible to join, but you are advised to ask the online office whether your criminal record might make you ineligible to join or not. They will ask you to provide details of your convictions and the sentences you receive, so make sure you have those details to hand and can provide them accurately. Tattoos. Tattoos which are offensive, obscene, or racist will be a bar to enlistment, regardless of where they are on the body. Recruiting authorities can only act on those tattoos seen or declared by the applicant. Any undeclared tattoos, particularly those that are offensive, obscene, or racist, which are observed either during or subsequent to enlistment, will result in the end of the selection process or discharge. Head and neck tattoos which are visible above the collar line of an open collared shirt may be a bar to enlistment depending on size and nature. Hands. Tattoos which are visible below the cuff line of a long sleeve shirt may be a bar to enlistment depending on size and nature. Small non-offensive tattoos. Small and non-offensive tattoos that are visible on the back of the neck, behind the ears, or on the hands are not a bar to enlistment. Service liability letters. Some countries require their nationals to carry out compulsory military service or government work. Applicants who are still liable for such service in their home countries are ineligible to join the British Army. Some applicants will require a letter confirming they are free of such service liability and that they have permission from their government to join the British Army. Those countries are Bermuda, Botswana, Cyprus, Malaysia, Mozambique, and Singapore. Character references. All applicants must provide an original written character reference when they first apply at an Army Careers Office in the UK. So bring one with you. Full guidance on references is given on the website www.army.mod.uk. You are advised to read this to ensure you know what is required. But you should note, the reference must be dated within the last 12 months and signed by the writer. References must not be written by a relative. Photocopies are not acceptable. Alright. Please note, all applicants are subject to Ministry of Defense approval. The armed forces cannot guarantee that your application to serve in the Army will be accepted. The armed forces can refuse an application without giving any reason. You may cancel the application process at any time up to entry, which is day 1 of phase 1 training, into your chosen service. Any travel to the UK is entirely at the applicant's own cost. I will repeat. Any travel to the UK is entirely at the applicant's own cost, irrespective of their selection for service in the British Army. Potential applicants should consider the risk that they will not be selected when deciding whether to pay the cost to travel to the UK. So that is the opportunity that is available to you. It's definitely something to think about. And I will get someone who has been in who served in the British Army to come on the show and speak to us about this. So hopefully that will be in the next show. Thank you very much for listening, guys. Thanks for listening today. I hope you are inspired. You can find more helpful and motivational material at globalinsidersgroup.com. That is, insiders with an S. You can also keep in touch at Global Insiders on Instagram. See you next time, but remember, you can be your own superhero. Bye.